And now one of the most important issues on voters' mind is now playing out in real time as the U.S. election reaches its dramatic conclusion. A caravan of over 2,000 migrants is making its way north from Mexico, adding fuel to the already fiery debate over immigration. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump hold vastly different views on how to handle the border crisis, and both are using this moment to define their campaigns. Fearing Donald Trump's return to the White House, more migrants are making a dash for the United States in hopes of getting in before any reprisals from a possible second Trump administration. Here's our story with more as we track the large caravan of migrants headed to the U.S. border.
In just 2 weeks, the United States will decide its next leader. But even as campaign rallies roar and candidates vie for votes, another group is racing towards the border. Over 2,000 migrants are fleeing Mexico's southern edge, hoping to make it to the U.S., anticipating a shift in the political winds.
Whoever wins in the United States election should not close the doors to us, should give us the support we need, because we are all really going through a bad time, not just us. Many people, we are going for a better future for our families, who are in Venezuela under a regime.
Their journey, driven by desperation and the hope of a better life, has become a poignant symbol of what's at stake in the upcoming election.
Many of them have the American dream. I don't have the American dream. I just want a better life because they denied me my papers here in Tapachula.
Vice President Kamala Harris, who has been relentlessly targeted by the Republican Party, finds herself walking a tightrope. Her critics see her as part of the problem, pointing to the record number of migrants crossing under Biden's administration.
But my message today is very simple. No person who has inflicted the violence and terror that Kamala Harris has inflicted on this community can ever be allowed to become the President of the United States. We're not going to let it happen. And now America is known all throughout the world as occupied America. They call it occupied. We're being occupied by a criminal force. And we're an occupied state that refuses to let our great law enforcement professionals do the job that they so dearly want to do. You know, they want to do the job so badly, but they're threatened constantly.
Last December, a staggering 250,000 migrant encounters were reported at the US-Mexico border. However, since the end of 2023, the monthly number of encounters declined sharply, including large decreases in encounters with citizens of Mexico's and the Northern Triangle countries of El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. On the other side, Donald Trump has a clear and uncompromising message. He will stop illegal immigration, no matter the cost.
A lot of them are real bad people, real rough people, but they're also taking a lot of jobs from Americans, probably happened with you. And as the small number of jobs they created were all taken by illegal immigrants in the last short period of time, and we're going to make that change.
His plans to revive travel bans on Muslim-majority countries and militarize border enforcement have set the stage for an epic clash of ideologies in the final stretch of this election.
Kamala is directly responsible for the tens of thousands of crimes committed by illegal migrants. She's responsible for every bloody crime scene, every funeral, every orphan child. And blood is on her hands at a level that probably nobody's ever seen in this country before. But on November 5th, Kamala Harris will be held accountable for these crimes.
But as US politicians battle over the future of immigration, across the border, a new leader watches closely. Claudia Sheinbaum, Mexico's recently inaugurated president, is navigating her crossroads. She carries the weight of her nation's political power. And yet, with her country seeing a 160% increase in migrant encounters this year, she's under pressure to act.
Unfortunately, we have to understand that today the main business for criminal groups in Mexico is not drugs. It's not even fentanyl. The main business for criminals in this country is human trafficking. That is, taking migrants from the southern border to the northern border. There is a lot of money at stake.
The clock is ticking. For Harris and Trump, this is more than just an election. It's a battle for the future of US immigration policy. But as the November 5 election draws nearer, one question looms larger than the rest. Who will shape the fate of this unfolding human crisis?
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.